Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to learn how to plot a data from database MySQL, and following are the topics that we are going to discuss. Firstly, we will see an introduction regarding the plotting of a data from MySQL database. Then we will see some steps to create a MySQL database. After that, we will learn to create a connection between Matplotlib and MySQL server, and then we will learn to visualize the data using Matplotlib. So let's start with the introduction about how to plot a data from MySQL database. So we must work with databases when using the Python, and these databases might be of a numerous type such as MySQL, SQLite, MariaDB, etc. And in this video, we are going to discuss to visualize the data from MySQL database by using the Python Matplotlib, and we will also learn to connect a MySQL database using the MySQL connector. So now we will learn the steps to create MySQL database. So firstly, you have to download and install the MySQL in your system, and for this the link is given in the documentation. After that, you have to open the command prompt and connect with the MySQL database. I will show you how you have to connect it. For this, firstly you have to open this PC and move to your local C drive. Then in the C drive you have to move in the program files. After that, you have to open the MySQL folder. After opening it, you will see there is a folder with the name MySQL Server 8.0. Now you have to open it. Then inside it you see a bin directory. Open it. Now in the location bar you have to type cmd. It will open the command prompt. Now after opening the command prompt, you have to type MySQL space -u space root -p. So when you hit enter, it will ask for the password. Now you have to enter the password. So I enter my password and hit on the enter button. So it will move to the MySQL monitor. So after connecting it, we have to create a new SQL database. Then we have to use this database, and after that we will create a table inside this database. Then we will insert the records, and last we will use the select statement to view the table. So I will show you all these steps with the help of an example. So as I told you, firstly we have to create a database. So I write a command create database, and then we have to pass the name of the database. So here I pass the Python guides as the name of the database. Now add a colon and hit on a enter button. You can see that the query is successfully done. So after creating the database, we have to use this database, and for this we will use the use statement, and then we have to pass the name of the database. So my name of the database is Python guides. So I enter without adding any colon. Click on a enter button. So you can see that it will show database changed. So then we have to create a new table. For this we use the create table statement, and you have to enter the name of your table. So here I create a table with the name weather. Then start with the parenthesis and start entering the column names with their detail. So my first column name is US underscore city. So I want to create this column in a varchar data type, and I set its value to 200. Then next I want to create a high underscore temp, which means high temperature. I also want to create it as a varchar, pass it value as a 10. Then I want to create a column with the name low temp, and this is also of a varchar data type, and I close the parenthesis, add the columns and hit on a enter button. It will some time and you can see that query is done. Now we have to insert the data or record into this table, and for this we use the insert into statement, and you have to enter the name of the table in which you want to insert. So my table name is weather. I enter the name as a weather. Now we have to type values. I am adding these value in the predefined format of the columns. Like the first column is the US city name, the next one is high temp, and the third one is low temp. If you want to change the order of your column data, you have to pass the name of the columns also. So now I am going to enter the values. So here you can see that I enter all the records. Now you have to enter the column in the last and hit on the enter button. You can see that it shows that 4 rows are affected. So you can see that it shows the message 4 rows are affected. So it means data is successfully entered. Now we have to view the table, and for viewing the table we use the select statement. So now I enter the star. This star means it will select all the statement and show you. So now I have to enter the name of the table. So the name of the table is weather, and now enter the column and hit on the enter button. You can see that it will show the table with the data. So after creating the database in MySQL successfully, we will move to learn how to create a connection between Matplotlib and MySQL server. So firstly, you have to install the MySQL connector module of the Python. So firstly I will tell you what is MySQL. You all know that MySQL is a relational database management system where the structured query language SQL is used for handling the RDBMS using command, and a connector is used when we have to utilize MySQL with other programming languages. And the work of the MySQL connector is to provide access to the MySQL driver to the required language. Thus, it creates a connection between the programming language and the MySQL server. After installing it, you have to import the connector. Then we will have to use this connector. Then we will create a variable in which we store the current database. Then we will execute this method, and after that we will create a list and append this database to this list. So we will see all these steps with the help of an example. So as I told you, firstly we have to install the connector, and for installing the connector the command is pip install mysql -connector -python. I have already installed it, that's why I am not going to execute this command again. I move to the next one. After installing the connector successfully, you have to connect the MySQL database with Python, and for this we will import the mysql.connector which we have installed earlier, and the command is import mysql.connector. Now I execute this cell. It will run successfully. Now we have to create the connection to the database. So here I create a variable with the name mydb which is used to store the result of the connector, and here I write the method for the connection is mysql.connector.connect, and in parenthesis I have passed host, user, password and database as a parameter, and I set its value. I will explain you. The host is used. In the host parameter you have to pass the name of your host. It is either local host or another host. So my host is a local host. I set its value to local host. Then the next one is user, which is none other than any MySQL name. So here I enter the name of my user which is root. Then you have to enter the password of your database. So the password of my database is root. You have to enter the password of your database. Then we have to enter the name of the database. So I created a database with the name Python guides. So I am setting its value to Python guides. You can set this value according to your database. So after this, we have to create a cursor object using the cursor method. So here I create a variable with the name myCursor, and here you can see that I use the cursor method with the mydb variable. Sorry, I forgot to execute the cell in which I create the connection. So I executed. Now I am going to execute this one also. So after that, we have to fetch the data from the MySQL. So for this, I use this execute method. This method basically takes the SQL query as an argument and then store the result of the query using the fetch all method of my cursor. So here you can see in execute method, I pass the select statement as select US underscore city, high underscore temp, low underscore temp. You all know that these are the name of our columns which we created in the MySQL database. Then from, and then I enter the name of my table, which is weather, and I order this table by the high underscore temp, and then I store the result using the fetch all method. I execute this cell also, so it will successfully executed. Now I define a list, a blank list with the name of a 3 columns: US underscore city, high underscore temp, and low underscore temp. Now I execute this. Then I append the list with the data which we fetch from the database. For this I use the for loop, and here I append US underscore city in the first one, then the high underscore temp and the low underscore temp in the last one. It will work as a 0, 1, 2. So I execute this also. Then I print the data list. So I print it using the print statement, and you can see that it will print the name of a US city, high temp and the low temp. You can see it. It is similarly as you create in your database. So here you can see that we have these cities with high temp and the low temp. They are same as the shown in the list. So with this, we will learn to create a connection between Matplotlib and the MySQL. So now we will learn to visualize the data using the Matplotlib. This is our main concept, as our topic is plotting data from MySQL to the Matplotlib. So you all know that the first and the most important step is to import the library. So I need 2 libraries, NumPy for the data manipulation and the Matplotlib for data visualization. So I use these 2 libraries. Then I want to create a subplot. I create it using the subplots function, and I also want to change the figure size. I pass the fixed size as a keyword argument, set the width to 9 inches and height to 6 inches. Then I move and want to visualize the data. In the first axis, I want to plot a bar chart. For this reason, I call the bar function, and I plot the chart between US underscore city and the high temp. And in the next axis plot, I want to create a line chart. So I call the plot function and plot that data between US underscore city and the low temp. I also change its line style to dashed and marker to circle by passing the line style and the marker as a keyword argument. Then I want to rotate the x-axis ticks. For this, I call the tick underscore params function, and I pass keyword argument rotation to it and set its value to 90 degree. Then I want to add labels at the plot. So in the first plot, I add X label and the Y label, and also in the second plot I add X label and the Y label. For adding the X label, I use the set underscore X label function, and for adding the Y label, I use the set underscore Y label function with the respective X's. And I also change the font weight of these labels by passing the keyword argument font weight and set its value to bold. Then I want to add a title on the plot, the main title. So I call the subtitle function, pass the title as an argument to it. And in last, to show the plot, I call the show function. Now I execute this cell and show you the output. So here you can see that we have a title, high and the low temperature of US city. In the first subplot we have a bar chart and the second subplot we have a line chart. You can see that the first plot y-axis represent the high temperature and the second plot y-axis represent the low temperature. Both the x-axis represent the US city. So with this we have learned to plot a data from the database MySQL in the Matplotlib. And in the next video, we will learn to plot the data from the MariaDB database.